Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mitch's Minute. This is the first episode I've done of Mitch's Minute where we actually have everyone in the same room.
Really? It's the first?
Oh man.
Yeah, no, because normally we have someone online, but this is the first episode in which we were actually all like in the same room. This is like my preferred method.
We're all in the what's your studio name here?
Fucking
Save Point Studio?
Yeah, Save Point Studio.
Oh yeah.
Just like how you would call it like a Chicago studio.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call it like Save Point Station.
You could call it like you know what it could be? It could be just like it could be like Edwin Mikulski's studio, and he just comes in and he's just like you guys done recording?
Fine.
You guys done with your recordings?
Who are these voices that aren't Mitch?
Oh, that's right. So that's you haven't been on my fucking podcasts.
Most of these people probably don't know who I am.
That's right.
Well, they know you in legend.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
We talk about you all the time on the show.
Literally all the time.
Not that I would know.
Jeez.
Yeah, maybe watch the fucking show.
Yeah, watch the fucking show once in a while, buddy. All right. So if you guys are just tuning in, it's a very, 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 very special episode of Mitch's Minute, in which we're also cooking food.
Yeah, it's cooking with Mitch.
Yeah. So we just got back from Renaissance Fair. Before we go any further in today's episode, we have to give you the standard channel news.
Oh, that's right.
All right, now I gotta get rid of my logo. Okay. So, in channel news, tomorrow will be the final episode of Love is Strange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's ending.
I haven't had a chance to catch up, so.
Life
is living hell. California's on fire 24/7. And I've had 3 evacuation fucking reminders in like the last month alone.
Oh jeez. Yeah, you realize I don't need to like put my microphone down because for the first time in these recordings, I'm not having to worry about balancing issues. So I can just put that fucking thing up.
What are you talking about, Mitch? I'm just way quieter than you, naturally.
Yeah, I just like the idea that you're like you're still somehow online, like you're in the room, but you're using like your phone's microphone.
There's a weird fucking echo as you're just like, oh
hey.
He's talking not even to a good mic, it's just his headset. So, how are you guys doing? As close as possible.
You're in the living room.
Yeah, I'm using a phone conducting mic. That's like only gets me.
No. I just want it to be like we're having like a very like serious conversation. It's just like, yeah, I think this really worked for this movie, and then I just want you to be like, and then it goes, when it like gives like feedback.
It's like, oh god.
Oh man. Anyways, in channel news, we have the last episode of Love is Strange is going to be coming up this week. In fact, I think it's coming out tomorrow, if I schedule that correctly. I do want to apologize. Over the course of this next week, videos may or may not be consistent. This is just due to the fact that I have guests over for the week.
Like my dumbass, yeah.
Yeah, like your dumbass. And it's just, sometimes in these moments when we have like guests over and stuff like that, the show becomes a little like, 1, harder to produce, 2,
Mitch apologizes for having a life.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna be here like for like 3 of the 3 days this week. Like I'm not gonna physically be here. I had to cancel like most of my Dungeons and Dragons sessions. I have to like kind of work with like around this like schedule and stuff. So it's almost like I wouldn't say it's a mini vacation because it's a lot of stress, but it's definitely like a fun like thing to do. So that being said, let's go into the first topic of the night, and that is, yay, we went to the Renaissance Fair.
We can't see any of the Renaissance Fair in the background.
No, you can't. It's just this picture of all of us.
Oh
Yeah.
no, my face.
I know. All of us are in this fucking photo. Tabby dressed up as Zelda.
I know, she actually looks nice.
She did that last time, and the thing that I really like about her going as Zelda is like it feels like Tabby's never been to an anime convention, but we here are veterans.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
And like she the way that she's treated as Zelda is so special, because like little kids dressed up as Link will like.
No, that was adorable.
Well, like be like, oh, it's Zelda, and then like my favorite though is the fact that like the dad had like this heavy, like thick Southern accent. Where's the Sheikah slate?
Where's your Sheikah
Where's
slate?
your Sheikah slate?
And she's like, it's right here.
Uh,
Oh, there's the
Oh,
Sheikah
there
slate.
it is.
There's the Sheikah slate.
She even has the Sheikah slate. Oh,
No,
Oh.
god damn it.
man,
Gotta
with
hate
all of
you.
everything. Everything.
No, but so in Ohio there is something called the Ohio Renaissance Festival. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago I actually did an episode around the Renaissance Fair, and it was really fun. It was a really good time, and I wanted to bring my friends. So Josh drove up, and
Yep, I actually came here just for the festival, just for the food, not for Mitch.
oh, is that why you chipped in $20?
Yeah.
Mitch is a cheap hotel.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have to pay any, you know.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You fucking flexed and bought all my fucking meals.
No.
Like,
It's like,
look how much money I have.
oh shit.
Mm. But anyways, before we kind of lose a sense, so my sister came all the way down from like northern Ohio, and like everyone came together for today. It was just a really fun time. But like some of the highlights of the day like just inevitably come from the fact that one, all the food is fucking delicious. Just all of it. Just all of it.
We stayed constantly at like a good 75% full.
But it was the worst. It was like the worst way to eat the food. Like because it's like there was never a single moment in which like we ate.
We never ate because we were hungry. We ate because we could eat.
Yeah.
There's good food here.
Like we just perpetually ordered not enough food. Like every meal we ordered, like that's why right now I have like barbecue chicken cooking in the oven.
Oh my god.
How many calories do you think we ate through the course of the entire
Oh,
day?
I think we gained like a small child's worth.
Well, you guys started off the fucking day by eating a whole turkey leg.
Yeah, that is true. I forgot we did that.
$10 turkey leg. It was worth $10.
Yeah. So like, if you guys are like interested in like, I'm not sure if any of our fans live in like the eastern part of the United States, but there's like really fun Renaissance fairs, and like even then, like I know there's one in Northern California that's really well known. It's still a high recommendation. We saw like today we saw like two guys like fight with swords, which was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, no, they're great.
Dirk and Guido.
What?
It's GUI
Guido.
Guido. I think he pronounces it Guido.
I don't know.
I almost feel like, but anyways, the point is that they're very fun, charismatic guys. They've been doing the show for 30 years. You know, and like it's a fun time. And then we also went to go see probably the best act I would say in the entire Renaissance Fair, which is Christoph the Insulter.
Oh, that's right.
I paid $20 for this guy's insult.
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta okay, so Christoph the Insulter, if you guys obviously don't know who that is,
He's an insult whore.
he is he's a verbal mercenary, as he puts it. The idea is that you go to his show and he will insult your friend for a base minimum of $20.
But we paid $50.
Yeah, these fuckers paid. These guys pulled together.
To insult Mitch.
Yeah, the more you pay him, the more scathing his insults get.
Oh my god.
So it's anywhere from like ooh, I bet your mom regrets having you, to ooh, the fucking world can't stand you.
Yeah, like I love how like, because at first when I first saw the show like a couple weeks ago, I was like, how are you gonna do that? Like, how do you have like levels and tiers based on how much you pay? But then like you see the show and you understand,
yeah,
okay, this is starting to hurt people. Like this is like maybe not hurt people, but this is like, if done in the wrong circumstances, this could have been bad.
Yeah, this could have been bad. Luckily, though, he does have like that one rule where he's like, if there's a topic that I hit and it's not okay, tell me, I will move on.
Yeah, and the best part is that everyone's involved, and he makes a very, very good point of being like, look, this is just for fun.
He even used, the hated word. This is a safe place for us to get rough with each other.
But I mean, like you watch the show.
Yeah, but I think
And
you know
makes sense.
there's something to be said where people do not understand how to properly be rough with each other anymore.
That is
generally.
True. Yeah.
Like, you have to sort of have this consensual agreement to go, hey, I'm going to be rough with you. Are you okay with it? Okay, if you're okay with it, let's go.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, there is, like... And also, his insults, like, are not too pointed. Like...
Because he's making, like, generalizations. Because
Yeah.
he doesn't know you.
Right.
But at the very least, he knows...
You're, like, smiling. You're, like, smiling over there.
I'm just remembering. Basking in that.
But I mean, at the very least, he's like, I don't know you, so I'm just going to make base insults
Yeah.
of what I think your personality is like.
Yeah.
But also, if I manage to hit something, like just square on in which it hurts, you need to tell me, and I will fucking move on, and I won't even question it.
Yeah.
Which, you know, totally makes sense. He also has a rule against, like, hey, don't be a fucking asshole, and don't pay me to insult your friend who you know isn't going to take it well.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's, like, that, he made a very good point of just being like, don't bring in someone who's shy, who's already nervous and shit, who's already, like, a wreck, because they don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And, you know, because that would be the worst case, you know,
Well,
you bring
it
someone...
makes it unfun.
Yeah.
It goes from being something where you can laugh at it to being just sort of sadism.
Yeah, and he even made that a point. He's like, that's not what I'm for. He's like, I'm a verbal mercenary. Don't point me to someone who doesn't deserve it.
And the best part about Christoph is that he's actually, like, he's an author. He wrote 5 horror novels, which was fun to find out.
He's being fucking sponsored by Shudder, the horror fucking like channel, which blew my mind. He's like a professional guy who just likes to go out and make a good chunk of fucking money.
Holy shit! The last guy was what, like $300?
$303 to insult the last guy. That's only the last guy. He ran through like 4 people who were for 20, one person who was for 30, another person who was for 40, you for 50, another person for 60, and then it jumped up to 100. And then it went from that 100 to the 300.
I think my favorite part about being insulted by Christoph was that every insult he gave me was so fucking outlandish that I loved it. and Jesse, the one who took the photo, by the way, was just like punching me in the shoulder anytime. Like it was just like.
Unfortunately, she was also in range for the insult.
No, that's my favorite. He said something along. He was talking about how like hairy like I am because I have like long stupid hair and facial hair and shit.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, all the women in your family must be just as hairy.
And she just goes, ooh, and she like raises her hand, and he looks and he smiles and he says, oh,
splash damage.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, so when she gets out of the shower, the fucking bar of soap just looks like a small cat.
But that's the thing. I feel like you have to go into it. Like, he does a really good job at prefacing exactly what he does. And I feel like that must have come from just years of, like, having to do this and trying to figure out exactly how.
I'm sure he had a lot of butthurt people before.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because he pointed out very specific examples.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, if, like, don't bring your kids. Don't bring, because what's going to happen is your kids are going to laugh and you're going to hate the fact that I'm using all these curse words and shit.
Yeah. He's like, look, you know what you're signing up for. You know I'm going to say curse words. I'm just going to warn you.
If you want your children to turn to me, bring them me.
He's like, if you want me to fucking just be this disgusting asshole, I will be. But understand, you should not bring your kids to an R-rated show.
Yeah.
It reminds me, it's like we had a whole bunch of kids at Zombieland.
Yeah. Yeah. That was weird because we went into our like the third row seat, and then right behind us was like a family.
There was like there were like 2 9-year-olds behind us.
Now I would also argue that Zombieland is more rated R for the violence and then not like the material.
So I did a rough estimate on how much he made in that show alone.
Oh yeah, how much did he make in that show?
About $600.
I mean, that sounds about right. And this is the thing. He does 6 shows through the course of a weekend.
Oh man, you're like making $600 for like an hour of insulting people. You're giving people like ideas now. We're just gonna flood the.
But no, but that's the thing. He is a published writer. Like that's the difference.
Yeah, the difference is that he's good at it.
The difference. He also, if you notice in his material, it's also like vague enough and nothing's too specific. That way, it's more outlandish. It's more fun. It's it's nothing's exact. It's a grenade and not a sniper rifle. Except for when he made fun of my facial hair. That was a sniper.
Are you going to shave now?
Yeah. No. Because if I shave, it's just baby face. That's how Samoans work, man.
It's either the bacon and the fucking bacon.
I just want to see like Jason Momoa shaved now. It's like, oh,
dude, he did. Jason Momoa shaved to promote his water brand.
I gotta Google that.
Yeah, because he everyone's like, oh, he looks like Babyface. No, he looks fucking handsome as shit. Like I don't know what the fuck you're talking. He looks like Conan the fucking Barbarian because he was Conan the fucking Barbarian. Oh, all right, you guys continue.
Mitch has to go.
You guys continue.
Go prepare our food. Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, let's shit talk Mitch now.
Isn't that what we've been doing?
I mean, I thought we could have done worse. We haven't even begun.
I mean, that's why we paid $250, though, yeah?
It's not enough. I should have thrown more.
Honestly.
Alright, guys. So, support us on Patreon. Is there a Patreon still?
No, not anymore.
What are our monetization channels? We need to...
It's just a Ko-fi.
Okay. So, tip us like a whole bunch in Ko-fi. We'll put all of that money into paying this guy to roast Mitch. And we'll ask his permission to, record this show just for you guys.
Just for you, so you can watch
Just saying, it's going to take a year for this to happen because the Renaissance Fair closed down for the year.
Yeah, that doesn't sound shady at all.
No, we'll totally remember. You can't see me, but I'm crossing my fingers, but you don't need to know that.
Yeah, we definitely got this. What the fuck? He doesn't have a fucking baby face. He's handsome as fuck. Internet, please fuck off. What, you don't like it? He's handsome.
He's got a good chin. Fuck.
Were you
I'll
hoping...
never be 1/10 as handsome as he is.
Were you hoping...
I'll never be 1/10 the man he is.
Were you hoping he had like a weak baby chin under there and that's why he had a full beard?
Oh, God.
You were just hoping that he was like compensating for one thing in his whole life.
I should have known better.
You're like, he has to be bad at something. One thing. He has to at least have a butt chin. No. He's got a nice chiseled jaw and you're just like, fuck.
Well, you can cut diamonds with that jaw.
Just pure diamonds. And unfortunately, Mitch isn't here to switch it to what Jason Momoa looks like.
But yeah, it's I would say that I think it's got just about all the same draws as a going to like a regular fair, but with more and better attractions, and it's got some of that con atmosphere at a Ren fair.
Oh yeah, well because it was also Halloween time, so there was a bunch of cosplayers, and even a couple of furries, which I wasn't expecting at a Ren fair, but I should have.
Well, I think the most interesting part about the Ren fair is like how it feels like the atmosphere there has opened up a lot.
Oh,
where it feels like, you've got a lot of really separate and different fandoms, like sort of running around against each other. Or not against each other, but rubbing shoulders, I guess.
Yeah, because you're all there in the same space, and you're just like, yeah, I mean, technically we're the same genre.
Like, anything that's, vaguely, like, historical or, like, sort of European-facing can just go there and slot in. It's like, you want to be Zelda? You can go. You want to, like, dress up as Game of Thrones characters or, like, any JRPG character? Go ahead. And it seems like, just anything goes. As long as you're having fun.
Oh, Stoic asked, who are these nerds in the pic? So those nerds are myself Tabby, who's dressed up as Zelda. Josh in the back.
Yeah,
Mitch,
if you didn't
and
recognize
then Mitch's
this,
sister.
handsome asshole next to Mitch.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back, guys.
Welcome back.
I may have put a little bit too much crushed by I just emptied the whole thing
How much is enough? All of it.
Well, no. So I put a spoonful of crushed on each one of the chicken thighs, and then I poured the rest so that the juices can seep into the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I can smell it. And
it smells good.
Oh shit! We ran into the timer.
Oh my god.
Fuck,
You're so good at this. But no, you've straight up got people who are just like, fuck yeah, Legend of Zelda, but also Daenerys Targaryen fucking just chilling out, or Jon Snow, or whoever the fuck, all in the same space. You also had How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, it's I think the cross section of fandoms and types of people that go is just wide enough where it's you can get away with almost anything. There were even people selling samurai swords at the run fair.
Oh god.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one.
Well, that one's because I'm sure the blacksmiths probably are do you guys have katanas?
Yeah, I'm sure they've gotten do you have katanas quite a bit. Because once again, nerds go to this fucking thing. So Insane Oddball's the legendary Josh.
That's right. That's right.
I'm glad that people recognize me.
Oh,
You're finally.
Yeah, I like how. So anyways, you guys talk about the furries?
Yeah,
we were talking about how the atmosphere of the run fair. It seems you don't really need to be a particular kind of person to go. And you can have fun there being just about any fandom. You should come next year during Fantasy Weekend, the weekend that I originally went.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I noticed was, there's a lot of people in Halloween costumes this time around. But during Fantasy Weekend, we had, the costumes were fucking extravagant. There was, a Final Fantasy 7 Red Mage just wandering around. Or not 7, but 14. Mm-hmm. Just Red Mage just wandering around. And you also had, full-on furries, the head, the tail, had a t-shirt.
Well, I think the biggest part is, it doesn't have that, sort of grungy con atmosphere or something that, a lot of cons tend to have.
So that kind of leads me to my next statement, which is, I think I'm just going to say to come to the Ren Fair again. I'm not going to lie, this was definitely more fun than I've had than any of the conventions I've had, the last couple times I've gone.
Oh, it's super, super fun. Honestly, I wish they had a Dickens Fair up here, because I think you would get a total fucking kick out of that. But I don't know if you... Okay, so the main reason I'm super into the Dickens Fair is because it's closer to my aesthetic, because it's old Victorian, and they have Jack the Ripper and fucking ghosts and shit running around. So it's edgy as fuck. But also, they just have fucking absinthe all the fuck over the place. And I fucking love me some absinthe.
They actually had a make your own absinthe bit at the Ren Fair.
What the fuck?
I saw it as we were.
What the fuck?
I saw it as there was no, because Jesse pointed it out at the tavern where the live players were playing. There was absinthe.
What?
You guys can't see it, but Amanda's just pulling a Nicolas Cage at the end of the rock, where he's holding up the flares and going, ah!
Why? I love absinthe.
Yeah, there was also a
I was surrounded by beer all day. I wanted absinthe. Oh god.
And here's me just laughing in the corner. Dickens Fair. Like a 5-year-old.
You bitch. Dickens Fair.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking a basic bitch.
Oh, no. Look, the only reason I like the Dickens Fair is because it's fucking edgy as shit. Because it's literally based off of the Charles Dickens fucking Christmas book. It's fucking entirely food and alcohol based, kind of like a normal Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Fucking... But the way they do it in California is they build a set inside an enclosed area so they can kind of control what the environment is like.
Yeah.
and it legit feels like a smoggy fucking day in London, in which it's kind of cold, it's kind of wet, it's really fucking hot in some areas, and no matter where you go, it just feels... What's the correct word? Smoky.
Jesus.
And I know
sounds like I'm going into like a dive bar.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of.
So okay, but that's the thing. Like when I think of our experience today, right? I was able to bring you guys, Tabby, my sister. Like we had like a very good time, and I think that's something that like I'm starting to realize is I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to invest my next costume or my next cosplay into something I can wear at this Renaissance fair, and then just wear that at the next convention I go to. Like if I go to another anime convention, I'm like, I'm just a random Viking, or like I'm a musketeer. Like I don't need to be anyone specific. You know what a musketeer is. So it's like, oh, like I don't need to be like anything specific. Or if I am gonna go that route, like Tabby went around as Zelda, like I could pick something from like a fantasy game or some shit like that, and just do it that way. But like, what's up?
Stoic said we were all attractive. Which, not to call you out, but thank you. I was just appreciating a compliment.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was like, oh, someone thinks I'm pretty.
I like the idea that like, well, that's the thing, because like I don't know, it's whenever you draw my character, you always draw like my old blue hair and stuff, and like I'm also kind of like weirdly thin. And I'm just like, this part of me is just like, just draw my belly pouch.
My belly pouch.
My gut.
Yes.
To be fair,
I'm missing 50% of myself.
Like, way the fuck at the beginning, you did have the blue hair.
Yeah, I mean, when I started...
And I was going based off of the old chibis.
I guess for, like, my old... Like I don't mind, like, having that for my online persona, like, having the blue hair and shit. Because... Why not?
Yeah.
But like, I also think it's kind of just funny because like
it's just like your sister said. Oh, you chubby. Chubby Gaston.
That was so fucking funny.
We saw a chubby Gaston.
My sister is so fucking cruel. Like that's the thing. I'm trying my best to get into like some sort of comedic, creative like art thing. Here's the thing that people don't know. So I'm the oldest. There is non-creative sister, super like Jessie like gave up like going into an artistic field so that she could become like like an actual successful like person, right? And Jessie makes a shit ton of cash. She goes and travels and does stuff. I'm super proud of my sister.
She's successful.
Fuck you.
Whoa, she's adulting.
She figured it out. She's
a functional adult.
But
why?
she in the way that we always talk about it is me and her traded different things to get what we wanted. I traded, my furthering education and all that shit because I didn't agree with like the way the education's handled in the States, or at least in Ohio. And so I bailed out of there and I started to do my own thing. She pushed through it, gave up like her desire to play guitar and play music and stuff like that. And what people don't know is she is way funnier than I am. Jessie can fucking destroy someone and not think twice about their feelings. It is so hilarious how much she does not give a fuck. Like fucking, we're walking down and she like we see a Gaston cosplayer, and my mind only registers, oh, it's Gaston, and she's like, huh, chubby Gaston, and we're all of us are losing it because she says this like not even 5 feet away from the guy, like within earshot, and I'm just sitting there like, fuck, Jessie. God,
what did she say? I think it was something along the lines of, I'm so fucking happy he's chubby. Fucking...
Because we can do it too.
It was...
Something like that.
No, it was fucking... She got some, like, sick joy out of there being a fat Gaston.
No, we were... So there's always this thing. Jessie and I have, like, this horrible, horrible sense of fucking humor. Because you heard her tell a joke earlier. She was talking about how she like was eating like depression eating, but she turned it into a joke.
Oh, like the pizza.
Yeah. Oh, the pizza's so cheesy, maybe it'll fill the cracks. And she tells it in such a funny fucking way.
She's like, sorry, I'm gonna be real sad, but hopefully you'll laugh at me and it'll all be okay.
Like, I don't know, the way Jessie delivers jokes is just so fucking hilarious.
This pizza's so cheesy.
Like,
Hopefully it fills the cracks in my life.
Because that's the thing, Jessie and I will hang out and we'll just fucking shoot the shit. We both deal with our depression. We both have our, and comedy is the way that we handle it. And so, like, I'm just amazed at just how much more, like, ridiculous she's willing to go than I am. And I consider myself, like, oh yeah, I go, like, I get loud. She gets, like, silly. And I think that's what, like, makes it work.
The you two telling jokes at each other is quite amazing to watch.
What? What do you mean?
Both of you will just crack jokes at each other without, like, even thinking, and it's fucking amazing.
I'm sorry that you guys will never get to hear any of these.
There's no way I can bring Jessie onto the show.
She'd rather not.
That loser shit?
She's like, no.
Well, what is it? She's fucking. She's like, she'll just bash someone, not even think about it. She just has like such a disdain for like another thing. If someone crosses her, it's over. That person's done.
That's super fair though.
Oh my god. But it was really nice to see her today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but. The point is that we had a really, really good time at the Renaissance Fair. The joust.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like watching a full-grown man get knocked by a fucking, like, huge piece of wood off of a moving horse so hard that it knocks the wind out of him, and then he has to give up.
There's something sensual about that.
There's nothing quite amazing like a guy hitting a guy so hard that the force of him hitting him so hard, like knocking that guy off, knocked him off the horse.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, I beat him too hard. I gotta go.
That's like a super move in a game where you uppercut someone. Like no, it's Joseph. Joseph uses Haman and launches cars into space, and then he has to land back to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that moment was.
Oh my god. It was so amazing. He's like the Black Knight, and everyone's booing him. He knocked so many fucking people off of their horses, it was ridiculous.
And this was the last joust of the fucking season. Like, it was amazing.
And he legit fucking smacked down pretty much everybody that got onto the other fucking horse. He's like, I'm tired of fuckers booing me, and I'm gonna beat your asses. You're about to take this 12-foot long stick, Grandpa, and you gonna like it.
Well, that's just it, like, I think one of my favorite thing about the joust was also, like, the announcer guy, because he broke character all the time, and it was funny. Because it was just like, yes, on your side, dear knight, and then, like, he'd make some shitty comment and go, hee, like, this weird laugh.
Your prince. It's 2019 after all.
Yeah. Choose your princess or your prince. He had this weird like laugh that like I don't think he knew it was like getting caught in the microphone. and I like to imagine that he has no idea.
I know.
Is this just a subconscious laugh?
He was just this big guy. Like, he's like this, like, he looks like Mark Hamill in like a knight suit. And he's just like fucking, like, he's just this big fat Templar on a horse. Oh.
Oh, God. It was awesome, though.
Oh, my God. Did Tabby get the toad bag, by the way?
She did.
Okay.
And, so, that was interesting. So, Tabby got a taxidermied frog coin purse. And we recently found out, like, how that dude got an entire shop full of, like, pelts and bones and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
I guess they get it from Native Americans up in Canada.
The fur trade is still strong.
It still is, but
we fought wars for that.
Yeah, they like
the whole show Frontier is based on that.
They legit get them from Native Americans up in Canada.
God damn.
Yeah, they're like, we don't hunt them, we don't poach them, we don't raise them to kill them. That's not what we do. So they go out of their way to trade up with Canada.
Well, goddamn.
Like, specifically Native Americans in Canada.
Because that's the thing, we entered that shop and I noticed that, like, the furs aren't fake. Like, they're clearly, like, animals.
Yeah, they're clearly real. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's not as if they're just, like, not using everything. They totally are. Because I noticed that they had, like, antler pieces and jewelry made out of antlers and combs made out of like different bones and stuff and knives made out of bones. So it wasn't like they were wasting anything. Pretty much everything was being used there.
Well, that's the thing. If there's one thing I will say about the Renaissance Fair is that it had like a lot of interesting shops.
Yeah, also my one complaint though is that some of those fucking animals, the way that they were sewed together was human centipede style.
Oh.
So it was a lot of mouth to butt. And then sometimes it was like they were kissing. And I was like, what? It was little. It did make me really sad though. They're beautiful coats. And that's great that they're like caught humanely and you're doing a trade with Native Americans, and that's great and that's beautiful. Their little feet make me cry. Because I just see their little feet and I'm like, no.
Oh no, those are for running.
Those are for loving. The little feet. It made me so sad. I was like, these are beautiful and so soft, and this is like real mink. Oh, his toes.
Oh, his little nose. It's attached to the other one's little nose.
It's like they're kissing.
now you can wear it as a scarf.
And I'm just sad there like, oh no. But to be fair, this is the same bitch who like watched someone step on a bee today and was like, no, the bee. So I might be a little sensitive.
Dude, that bee, there was that alcoholic bee though.
Oh no, straight up. I got alcoholic apple cider with Fireball in it, and a bee desperately wanted a sip of it. And I mean desperately, like, he sat and chilled with me for at least a minute or two, and fucking took huge sips out of the side of it because I had, like, accidentally knocked it over a little bit. And he was just sat there drinking what I wasn't drinking. And at one point, he just dunked his bee butt into my drink. And then he flew away. And I fucking watched him do it and then looked in my cup and there was a little bit of black fluff. I was like...
That's a parting gift.
It's a parting gift. Here's my butt fluff. Thank you for the drink. Goodbye.
I've got 5 butt fluffs. I can't pay for a drink. I'll pay you 1 butt fluff.
I love the fucking comment. His John.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So that wasn't like the first time, oddly enough, that like we just had bees just hanging out and chilling out so just chillily that they were just resting on top of whatever we were doing, or just us.
Yeah.
Like, one bee would not stop harassing Tabby. Like, it would land on her arm, and I would take it off and move it away, and it would fly back to her. And it did that for like 5 whole fucking minutes, and Tabby's like running away.
Didn't that last until like Tabby was saved by being poked by a man with a dagger?
Yeah, an old man with a dagger.
God damn. So, real quick, let's just make a pact right now. We have to have costumes next year, right?
We do.
Like, we have to. I look at Josh. Josh's plan was to put a hood on and a hoodie.
Hey, man.
Oh, the bee got buzzed.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was a closed dagger, so he had it in the sheath. But the bee got stuck in her hair, and he didn't want to like touch her or touch the bee, so he just like pushed her hair away with the dagger and flew away.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was like, "Don't worry, ma'am," and just stabbed the bee while it was on her.
I just remembered Jesse's best moment of the day.
No.
It was we're at Christoph the Insulter, and there is this one girl who was being a little obnoxious throughout the entire fucking thing. And at first I'm like, oh, she probably works alongside him or something, right? I don't know, because he has that one dude who comes around and collects the change and stuff. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So Jesse and I are sitting there. And, me and Josh had a couple beers, and, Jesse had a drink, too. And this girl, like, I think it's, like, in between one of the bits. Like, he's, like, collecting cash around for, like, the final bit. And this girl just goes, yeah, this is my first Ren Fair. Can you believe that? And I'm a professional actress. And we fucking lost our shit for... Because these two statements had, like, fucking nothing to do with each other.
Oh, I know, and neither did the follow-up sentence of, well, I had a hysterectomy.
Like...
I was like, what?
Jesse, like, just fucking lost it because it's just such a sad, like...
I saw her, reaction was like, where?
And I know that's really, like, insensitive to share that. But it's not like she was being shy about it either, as she screamed it in the middle of the fucking hall.
She also... I would like to remind you, too, that she was also the one who paid to have her friend insulted, like, the very first one.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I watched that happen. I'm like, she didn't look like... She laughed, but... that didn't look like a comfortable, like, scenario.
Yeah. And from what I heard, because... she was not quiet. She was new friends with this girl. Yeah, they were newly...
Wasn't it like one of his rules? It's just... Didn't they like the first one immediately break one of his fucking rules, which is just like, this has to be someone that like you can rough around with?
Yeah. But no, she was just like, oh, no, we're like... kind of new friends, and I'm really hoping that we can stay friends after this.
Why would you pick that? Like,
if you want to stay friends with her, why would you pay money?
Amanda, we're new friends. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take you to Christoph the Insulter.
I'm gonna hire someone to roast you.
I'm gonna drop $50. No, that's the worst part. If you think you're getting away scot-free, you fuck.
Hey, you volunteered.
I did volunteer. That's super fair. But
because it was...
I added money into it because it's like, $30 tonight.
No, Tabby was just like, I need someone to get insulted. And she's like, I'm going to pay $30. And the first thing in my mind was like, why 30? The base minimum was 20. like, why do you want...
Just get to the next tier. That's all.
It was just like this moment of like, you really just want someone in this group to just get like fucking like ass blasted. Like, I don't know what the fuck, like, it was just weird.
She just wanted someone to get roasted, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But no, I like how fucking on top of that, we skipped roasting me, roasting her, and roasting your sister, and immediately went, it's one of you two.
Yeah. No, my favorite part is during the fucking roast, he somehow shotgun blasts Jesse and you two. Because Jesse called it out.
No, I know. Because it's just like, and they're his friends. It's like, oh yeah.
Oh, jeez. Hey, it could have been worse. Christoph like shotgun blast a lot of groups today.
Oh,
like entire rows of people.
Oh yeah.
You saw entire rows of people Just die.
He's so good at it too.
Oh, he didn't fucking blast us nearly as hard as he did, like, some of the higher tier ones.
Oh, yeah.
The higher the tier, it's like, if anyone's even within, like, range of you, I'm also gonna drag them down with you.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is, though, you can tell that some of those people weren't, like, they weren't 100% okay with it. Like you can see that they weren't having fun. And you can also watch Christoph just kind of be like, not entirely sure if he should start pulling back a little. Because sometimes he would change the joke. Like, he would say, you speak, or then he would kind of change it. Or to, like, something else.
I mean, I think that's why, like, his set with you went pretty well. Because you laughed.
Oh, he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It was...
I literally watched the girl with her fucking friend. The first one we were talking about earlier. I watched the girl as she was getting assaulted. I watched, like, the first joke he said. Because then he switched it over to, like, lesbianisms, and she was more okay with that.
Yeah.
But something he said at the beginning, and I watched her legs, like, curl up. Like, she legit lifted her legs to start curling in on herself. And I was like...
I think that's because he made fun of, like, her looks. That being said, let me go check them.
Yeah, it might have just been, like, her looks, because...
Alright, guys. So while Mitch is away, we do have to, like, you know, encourage you guys. Donate to the coffee.
Oh my god. You're, like, the only one who actually promotes that regularly. Most of us are
Christoph, do you know roast Mitch more?
Most of us are just like, it exists. But yeah, no, oh my gosh. And it might have been something about, like, her looks, because he can only go based off your name and what you immediately look like. But, oh god, I felt so bad because I watched her legs pull up.
Yeah, it was a rocky start, definitely.
Yeah, like, she wasn't reacting, like, from the table up, but because I was sitting behind her and they were benches, I could literally see her start to, like, curl in, and I was like, ooh, no, oh no, she's not gonna be your friend after this.
Alright, so the good news is that the chicken turned out really good.
Awesome.
I'm gonna let it cool for a second and warm some vegetables. It'll be all set.
Alright, thanks for joining Cooking with Mitch, by the way. I'm sure you guys are all hungry, but it's not our problem to deal with, so have fun. Hopefully you guys have food.
Oh my god. But anyways, we had a really good time at the Ren Fair. It was like it was just really solid. And before we go today, I kind of wanted to just cover real quick a non-spoilery review of Zombieland Double Tap.
Oh.
Because Josh and I went to go see that while you guys were at a party yesterday.
Yeah, I did. The drinks were good at the party. Sorry to interrupt your review. The drinks were good at the party, but when I'm 11 shots in and I'm not tipsy, how alcoholic are they really?
Not really, because this is Ohio and not California.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, most of them were, like, Jell-O shots and, like, Fireball and vodka, I think. So I'm just sat there going, like, when am I gonna get drunk? When?
Oh my god.
When?
So Josh, me and you went to go see Zombieland Double Tap.
Yep. We've never seen any of the Zombies.
Yeah, we did not see
the previous one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we haven't seen the original Zombieland.
What the fuck?
Well, we sat there because essentially what happened was we went to drop you guys off at a Halloween party, and Josh wasn't invited, so I decided to stick with him and watch a movie. That's the whole story. That's literally the whole story.
We thought we were too late to watch the movie we wanted to, so it's like,
are
we just gonna find a bar? And then we found a bar, and then we realized, oh, there's a movie theater attached to this bar.
Exactly. So we went, we got drinks. I got something called the Beetlejuice, which was real good.
That sounds amazing.
It was like a bunch of flavored liqueurs.
You should have just put the image of that in the...
oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
It's too late now.
Yeah, it was too...
It's too late, but either way, I really fucking...
You should have 3 of them.
I should.
Honestly, I want whatever the fuck...
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I fucking...
Yeah, that's when I die. That's when the heart attack happens.
You have to do it really quick. It's like slam one.
No, it was sour mix, vodka, blueberry, cranberry, and raspberry liqueurs.
Oh, that sounds
and it's layered so the colors like do this nice seeping effect, and it's just it was nice.
That sounds way better than I was drinking.
But anyways, we went to go see Zombieland Double Tap, which it was nice. We had
no expectations for the film.
We had drinks. It was nice, and I can definitively say this movie is definitely a film that felt like it was written in 2009.
Well, yeah, because wasn't the original written in 2009?
Exactly.
So they were just trying to keep it on
like
par.
It was fun. It was a fun movie.
It's not like a bad aspect of the movie. It's actually sort of refreshing to see like a comedy that's like that.
Yeah, it was just a silly, fun movie. Woody Harrelson is always a great actor.
I appreciated the visual comedy. There's not enough of that anymore.
They also did, as you pointed out, they did some things that reminded you of Scott Pilgrim.
Well, it's only in like the big lettering, right?
Yeah, where they had like it's the way that they handled titles, rules, stuff like that. But like I genuinely believe that the movie could have been PG-13 if the gore itself was just tame. Because when you're not dealing with the gore of Zombieland, everything feels relatively PG-13.
I bet there will be a PG-13 cut that will make the circuits on FX forever. It'll be on FX for 20, 50 years as a movie that they run after they're done running Predator or Dude, Where's My Car?
I haven't done anything like Halloween or spooky in years because normally I just don't have it. But the fact that I went to go see this movie and earlier in the month I saw Alien. It's been a very fun month in terms of just movies and stuff like that. Zombieland Double Tap is definitely a movie if you're just looking for something fun and dumb to laugh at.
Yeah, it's if you don't... I don't know how this is going to sound.
If
you don't have anything fun to do on Halloween, just go in for Zombieland. Find a theater that serves alcohol.
Yeah. I think that also might have made the experience was just that it had that really relaxed atmosphere with the theater.
Yeah, if you're in for something that's sort of nostalgic. I don't know how Zombieland, 1 fans would feel about this movie, but it's it feels like you're back, in the nadir of the financial crisis again. If you grew up during that time, it's nice, sort of.
Well, that's the thing. Some of the jokes didn't land quite as strong as I wanted them to.
Yeah, it's the dumb blonde jokes and
That felt so dated.
Yeah, it felt that's part of what made it feel like it was just an older movie. It's a lot of the humor seems to come directly from that time period, and when you really think about it, our humor has changed a lot over that time.
Yeah, because some of it's over the top, some of it's some of it was just crazy, and it almost some of the jokes didn't quite land, but I knew somewhere deep down that 10 years younger me, 17-year-old me would have enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's something where it's a lot of the humor in the flying titles that come up every once in a while when they introduce a rule or a character into the story. I feel it's not as special anymore because there have been a lot of movies that have played around with that.
Yeah.
And that space is not nearly as new as it probably was back when this movie first came out.
I think I'm just really curious to see what'll happen in terms of just we had this come out in a week or so. We're gonna get Terminator, and I just it makes me wonder what kind of there seems to be this idea that was perpetuated by Todd Phillips, when he was asked about doing comedy, is that he says it's harder to do comedy now than it is whenever. And it's an argument you hear from a lot of comedians who used to do very raunchy stuff or used to do very, college campuses and shit like that.
I think, it's fine to say that it's harder to do your particular brand of comedy, but I think, restriction breeds creativity.
Yeah, there's always a way around it. You can always find something to do. There's always, you can just be Jesse, and just be unnecessarily cruel for no fucking reason.
You have to be genuine about it though. There has to be something in it that people see and feel makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes Jesse's humor works too. It's just like she'll look at something, she'll laugh about it, but there's a reason. There's like something that feels like,
It's not just cruelty for the sake of cruelty.
Yeah. But that's the trick, Like, I think Todd Phillips is, ironically, for making one of my favorite movies this year, Todd Phillips, I think, is kind of a weird person. Like, he did the Hangover movies, and like, his idea that his brand of humor, like, you're right, his brand of humor is not gonna land today. Some comedies, there's a theory that comedies in the not modern, but in like the classical sense, are dead.
I mean, if you think about it, our world has changed a lot since 2009.
Yeah, it's been 10 fucking years.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really think about it, it's like, like the gay rights movement pretty much won.
Pretty much won.
I mean, popular culture.
I'm sorry. Hang on.
I'm talking popular
No.
culture, not fucking
I'm saying rights movements don't have victories.
Yeah,
we just keep going along.
Yes, we have to push the spectrum, push out towards the very, very, very long arc.
You shot yourself in the foot here.
Yes. But it's like, okay, it's like saying like the fucking, like the civil rights movement won when Barack Obama was elected. Fine, yeah. I'll eat my shoe there.
Yeah, eat your shoe. All right.
But it's something where it's like presidents didn't support LGBTQ rights, 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
openly.
Well, yeah, no. Like, as a society, we change. We're getting on a weird topic.
But I'm saying like our society's changed a lot in the intervening 10 years, and it's something where some people it becomes very noticeable when people don't want to change along with the society.
I almost feel like,
and I mean, I guess some people don't like where the society is going, but it's like,
I just think that for Todd Phillips and those types of comedians, I think that it's something in which if your brand is not going to hit now, if you feel like it's not hitting as hard as it used to, you're right. Times did change. And it's up to you as a person to kind of adapt your act. Yeah. And to which I would argue this with the musician, Hart. Hart throughout the entire 1970s had like fucking hits like Barracuda, Crazy on You. Their style was very distinct, but during the 1980s, they became, in my opinion, one of the signature sounds for 80s rock. Like, they had to change their style because they understood what they were doing wasn't working anymore. Mm-hmm. They aren't pulling the stuff they used to get, so they made a dynamic change during the 1980s when they made their music. And people with talent can make this change. They can make this pull. They can do it. Yeah. That's why I think Todd Phillips, ironically, is as shitty as he is with his opinion on comedy, made a really good drama movie. Like, he made a really solid drama. God, the guy who directed Aquaman, whose name escapes me right now, was a horror director who made one of my favorite adventure movies last year. I think
horror directors actually make really good directors in general.
Yeah, they do, because you have to understand pacing and emotions.
Yeah, well, but anyway,
like Ridley Scott,
either you have to like be willing to adapt or be happy with doing what you're doing and like not having as much attention on what you're doing anymore.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, we're gonna end today's episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got like way off. Oh, okay. Zombieland, Double Tap. Go see it if you're bored or if like you want something fun.
It's a good free weekend movie.
It's only an hour and a half too.
Yeah, it's 99 minutes. It's pretty decent. But yeah, everybody make sure to donate to the coffee so that we can fund Mitch getting roasted next year.
God damn it.
And
that's supposed to be for my office chair. You hear this thing fucking squeaking like a fucking bitch.
Not nearly as much as mine, and I already have plans to get a new one because mine.
But yeah,
is
guys,
a nightmare.
then we'll really nicely ask the guy to let us record that bit, and then like
just that bit,
just like that 10 minutes, and it's like. If we get to $300, we get some pretty gnarly stuff.
Oh my god. Alright guys, thank you all so much for listening to our very, very special episode. We'll be back to normal programming next week. So we'll catch y'all next time.
Bye.